we have is a demonstration of radiant barrier insulation. Now what I've got here is regular Pink Panthers, the stuff they got in the attics. The code, city code, I think is like R30 here. Different states, different countries have different codes. But we've got the regular Pink Panther, and I've got some thermometers under here that's hooked to these little meters that's going to measure the temperature. Now this is simulating an attic. This is one attic and this is another attic. The temperature that we're at now on both attics is 73 degrees. I think you can see that. 73 degrees, bottom temperature. And what I'm going to do is turn on these heat lamps, and this is representing the sun, radiant heat bearing down on the roof of the house. Now this radiant barrier insulation is going to block the heat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to select either side that we're going to place this on, either the right or the left. Which side do you want to do it?
Let's do left.
Left, okay. We'll put on the left just so you know that I'm not pulling any tricks. And then we'll cut on the light. Now we have the light bearing down. This is the sun bearing down on the top of the house. Now let me talk a little bit about this radiant barrier insulation. What it is, it's 5 layers. The outside layers is made of 99.9% pure aluminum. That's important because 99.9% pure aluminum blocks 97% of radiant heat. And that's what we have on the outside. Also, there's pores in here. You can't see it, but there's little holes in this, the radiant barrier, which allows it to breathe. Moisture can flow through there, air can flow through there. This inside is a silicone sand-based insulation that actually allows the air to flow through it and moisture to evaporate, because in our attics we have from 50 to 80 gallons a year that, because of condensation, will go through our attic. And if you don't have those holes, if this cannot breathe, it will trap the moisture and it will cause mold and mildew. We don't want that. Now what this does, it lays down on the floor of the attic, just like this. The insulation is on the floor in your attic. This lays right on top of it. It's like a blanket. It lays on top of the insulation, and then it just protects it, keeps the heat from going down into your home. Now let's look at the thermometer, see what our temperature is right now. We have here, it's 74 degrees in this house. This was already up to 123 degrees. This is 125. As I'm talking, it's going up. Can you see it? 125 degrees. This one is 74 degrees. Now it's at 130 now. And this one's still 74. Now what I tell people is to set your thermostat to 78 degrees, because every degree below 78 degrees that you have your thermostat set to in the summer for air conditioning, it costs you 6% more energy. 6% more on your electric bill, 6% more for every degree below 78 degrees. So I tell people, set it at 78 degrees. That's a comfortable temperature and it'll save you a ton of money. At 78 degrees, that air conditioner cuts on. We're at 74 degrees. The air conditioner has not cut on. We'll call this my house. My house, the air conditioner has not cut on yet. 149 degrees. We'll call that your house. 149 degrees. Everybody's leaving, going outside. Some people may be dying of heat stroke. Call 911, whatever's going on in that house. We need to do something fast, because 149 degrees, I bet as we look at it, it's already 154 degrees. Did you see that? Let me show you this. You think I'm smoking dope or something. Check this out. You see the temperatures there? What do we have? 157 degrees in your house and 74 degrees in my house. Now I can leave that on until it catches fire, but I'm not going to do that. But this temperature does not change because this blocks 97% of radiant barrier, radiant heat. Now this is how the insulation works. You see what happens? Insulation, traditional insulation, it traps the heat. It works like a sponge. And when that sponge, if it gets full of water and I add one more drop, a drop will come through. So once it's full, it's full. That's the maximum that it can hold. This insulation holds a maximum of heat. Once it's full, any more heat that's applied to it, it comes out the bottom down into your home. And that's what's happening here. Now, you can add more insulation if you want, but insulation, traditional insulation, only blocks 10% of radiant barrier heat. So if you add a lot of insulation, it doesn't matter, it may contain more, but once it's full and you add more heat to it, then it's coming out down into your house. It only stops 10% of the heat, whereas this stops 97%. Now, do you want to stop 10% or 97%? Makes a big difference. I've probably reached my limit. This is 158 degrees. That's as high as the thermometer will go. We're still at 74. My air conditioner has not cut on because my thermostat is set to 78 degrees. So my air conditioner has not cut on yet. This is at 158 degrees. That air conditioner is running like a squirrel in a cage trying to cool that house. And it's just not going to do it. But what does this mean? This means it's saving me money. If my air conditioner doesn't come on until 3 in the afternoon, it may run for 15-20 minutes, knock that temperature back down, and then that's going to maintain the temperature. Well, what about in cold temperatures? In the wintertime, it works the same way. What we could do here, if I point this up, now the heat is going up. In the wintertime, you have the heat in the house, and Josiah, come here, I need a volunteer. We have the heat in the house, and heat rises. And what happens is heat goes up into the attic. What I want you to do is put your hands just like this on that side, and you can feel the heat from the lamps, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and slide your arms all the way across like I got mine. See how I got mine? All the way across. Now what we'll do, this is going to lay in the attic, and it will trap the heat in the house. Now you feel the temperature of the light? Tell me if it gets hotter.
Wow.
Instantly, right?
Wow, yeah.
It gets extremely hot because now we've trapped the heat under that radiant barrier, and it keeps it in your house. So in the wintertime, it's going to keep your house nice and toasty, and without having to run your heat a lot, it's going to save you money. And in the summertime, it keeps the heat out of your house, so your air conditioner doesn't have to work real hard to keep your house comfortable. Again, saving you money.